This is the CXM 1978. It's a powerful reverb pedal that is a collaboration between Bliss Audio and Meris Effects. And this is a continuation of this automatone pedals. They had the preamp MK2, and now that was kind of a drive fuzz pedal. And this is the reverb pedal. It's inspired by the late 70s Lexicon 224. It has very lush sound, and the reverbs have a lot of character to them. Just like the original 224, it had a lot of character because of the digital limitations back in the day. The reverbs were not super pristine, and that actually was the charm of the era and of that sound back then, and has become very desired. So they've created this pedal here, and similar thing, we have presets. We have the motorized sliders, and we can flip between 10 different presets. We have 3 banks here, so we got 30 presets on tap here. This pedal is powered 9 volt. It can input stereo in, stereo out. We can either do just what I'm doing now, just mono in, left in, and then stereo out. It can do that as well. We can plug in aux jack to control the presets. We can recall those presets with a Meris controller, and then we also have MIDI as well. And with this pedal, we can select it to run on line level or guitar level, so we can set that up as well. And let's go to the front of the pedal. We have our preset foot switch here, and then we have the bypass here, and it acts as a save. When we hold it down, it'll save the preset. And then here we hold to select our 3 different banks. And then we have a jump, arcade buttons here, as they call them. We have a jump button here. It's in off right now, and we can just go select to jump to 0 or jump to preset number 5. We can kind of like shortcut to our presets with that button. And then this button here, we have 3 different reverbs. So it's a room, plate, and a hall. And then we have the diffusion here, and this is kind of an interesting feature here. What diffusion is a multifaceted control that sets the amount of smearing for the initial attack of the sound. And on the low setting here, on the hall setting, the diffusion in low, when it's off, what's going to do is going to enable a sparse mode that surrounds the attack with a cloud of soft delay taps, especially designed for the halt algorithm. So we'll check that out as well. And then when we go into medium, it softens the attack. Percussive, heard on percussive sounds with a short decay. By spreading out the energy of the attack, the reverb onset is slowed, and the reflections inside the reverb tank are more gentle overall. And then if we go into the high, which is the red, we're going to be introducing regeneration to the pre-delay along with an extremely softened attack. So we'll check all those settings out. Then we have the tank mod. So this is kind of our modulation. If we go into low, we're adding subtle organic liveliness to the reflections. And then blue is medium. That is going to be slow, speed, and moderate depth for chorus-like movement. That was what was set to in the intro. So you guys heard that, like beautiful kind of lush, chorusy, very spacious reverb. And then we're going into the high. What's going to do is going to go fast speed, low depth for rotating speaker-inspired overtones. And then the clock here, and this has 3 settings. So hi-fi when it's off. This is going to be our clean, modern take on reverbs of yesteryear with a low noise floor, and it's 48 kilohertz sample, so sample rate, 32-bit input resolution, so the clearest reverb sound as you heard in the intro. And then when we hit the button, we go into standard, and this is where we get our 224-ish sound from the Lexicon. It's they call it the 1978's finest. You can think of standard mode as retro hi-fi, pleasantly flawed and limited by the technology of the time. And then lo-fi is a cool one too. What it's going to do is pre-delay. It's going to be doubling as a sort of a bucket brigade style of degradation to the sound. So as we turn up the pre-delay, we're getting lower and lower sample rate or bit resolution all the way down to like a couple bits or something. So we'll listen to that also. So let's go through it. And what's interesting is the delay time is set by these sort of three different parameters. So we have the bass, we have the mids, and we have the cross and the treble. So we have this cross slider here, and this sets our crossover point. So it basically splits whatever is above it is going to go to the mids, and whatever below it is going to go to the lows. And then we basically manipulate with these sliders the low end. So cross all the way down here, we're sending the really lows to the bass side here, and then a lot more of the bandwidth of the mid range and up is going to the mids, and then we can manipulate that. We can raise it up so the crossover point goes a lot more to the lows. We can control with this slider here the lower frequencies, and the treble slider here also interacts with the bass and mids and creates also reverb time. So basically diffuses the high end, and so it's going to darken it as we turn it down and decrease the reverb time, and then as we turn it up, it's going to kind of release that absorption and create some high frequencies and some reverb time in those frequencies. So let's check it out. We have the mix also. Basically all the way down is dry, all the way up is wet, and then this is our pre-delay control along with the lo-fi setting. We're going to control that dual thing with its pre-delay and controlling the bit rate. So let's go through the different sounds. We'll go from room, plate, and hall and check out all those things that we can do with this pedal.
you.